Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Wrestling vs. the World podcast. If you're all enjoying your day, sweet. If not, then what the hell ever. So, we got another video game review to do here, because, it's a weird time of the year. But I wanted to cover, looking back at a certain game that it's hard to even really say that this is a wrestling video game just because of what we got. The final video game under the WCW banner, because there was supposed to be another game after this, but the closure stopped it. WCW Backstage Assault. So here in America, it was released on the PlayStation November 8th, 2000, and the following month, December 12th, it was released on the Nintendo 64. So the whole concept they were trying to do, because this was under EA, being their publisher, and developed by Kodiak Interactive, is supposed to be like hardcore elements and everything, and no wrestling ring. It's a bunch of like backstage fighting everything with these different areas, kind of like what you would see with other like wrestling games. Like you look at WWF No Mercy, you got like the bar room, you've got the parking lot, you've got the boiler room, the locker room, the hallway. So you have different varying areas backstage to fight in. The thing with WCW Backstage Assault is that it's all that happened. Like, it's all it had. Like, you had all these different areas that were connected to each other, being like, oh, you can be in a TV area, you can be outside in the parking lot, you can be in the bathroom, so on and so forth. And at least that's an interesting concept, because it feels like there's nice variety there. Like, at least it feels better than the backstage areas that they kept giving us for the WWE video games on Xbox 360 from WWE 12 all the way to 2K17. It's just all the same thing year after year. But this... it's hard to really describe this as a wrestling game. It's like, yes, you have wrestlers doing wrestling moves with a wrestling feel, but there's no wrestling ring. Because, like, you can pin the opponents, I guess, submission, or knock them out, and you win. And you can do, like, regular matches. You can do their story mode, which is just, like, a gauntlet of matches. You can unlock backstage areas to even go through again later on in gameplay. And I will admit they got a really good amount of wrestlers to unlock as time goes along. According to GameFAQs, here are the list of characters you can unlock. 3 count, so that's Shayna Moore, Evan Courageous, and Hurricane Helms. Well, Shane Helms, but you know what I mean. Billy Kidman, Bret Hart, Buff Bagwell, Chris Candido, Crowbar, Daphne, Eric Bischoff, Shane Douglas, General Erection, both of the Harris brothers, Johnny the Bull Stamboli, Chris Canyon, Kimberly, the tag team of Chronic, so Brian Adams and Brian Clark, La Parka, Lance Storm, Lex Luger, Lieutenant Loco, my gosh, Medusa, Mike Awesome, Miss Elizabeth, Miss Hancock, aka Stacy Keebler, Norman Smiley, Rey Mysterio Jr., Scott Hall, Tank Abbott, Vampiro, and Vince Russo. With all of them, you have to do something in order to unlock them. So, like, for example, if you wanted to unlock the Harris brothers, I don't know why you would, you gotta beat them in matches. Okay, 2 less characters for me to give a crap about. But it's like, you look at a lot of these weird names, like some of these names and everything, like, nobody in this game wants to go back and try to play as Eric Bischoff, to be honest. Like, nothing against Eric Bischoff, but nobody's dying to play as Eazy-E. And who in the right mind's gonna, like, who's really chomping at the bit to play as Vince Russo? Because to unlock him, you have to KO your opponent in the media center using a briefcase. And then in order to unlock Bischoff afterwards, you have to win a WCW Hardcore belt playing as Russo. So some of them you have to defeat certain wrestlers, some of them you have to win a match under these circumstances, you gotta win a Hardcore challenge or whatever. And it's just like, some of these names, they should have already been around. I know Brett, like, he was pretty much retired, or at least close to it by the time this game released and everything because of his concussion problems. It's like Billy Kidman, he should have already been there because, like, he had been in the company for years. Chris Canyon also should have been there. Very innovative wrestler. Lance Storm, Medusa, names like that. But it's just like, some of these, like I said, Tank Abbott, like, was he even still with the company by this point? Like, I don't know how long in advance the game was in development for, but it's just like, eh. And then you also got some costumes you can get in there for Booker T, Hogan. You can get Jeff Jarrett, Scott Steiner, Sting's surfer character, and for whatever reason, the Harris brothers. It's like, oh, they're creative control, so it's like, okay, you put them in suits. And then the unlock areas, you can get the bathrooms, the block, loading bay, locker rooms, media center, the parking garage. And then, like, you can also get some other outfits and everything for other wrestlers, for, like, Brett and Scott Hall, Jeff Jarrett, so I guess they get, like, the NWO 2000 feel to it. But it's like you look at the gameplay and like the visuals and everything. The visuals look really bad. Like the characters do not look like they're real humans. Like I get it. Like the graphics are not going to be like back then are not going to be what we're used to with current consoles and like even PC nowadays. Because like the N64 and PlayStation, they had a bit more blocky looks to it. Like you look at games like WWF No Mercy, maybe you look at Tomb Raider, stuff like that. You see how these character models are. Like they're not going to be realistic and everything. But they don't do a good job at trying to represent specific wrestlers. Like some of them don't even look like the actual wrestlers they're supposed to be. Like, do DDP and Bret Hart and Hogan really look all that accurate? Like, they kind of look like Triple H from WrestleMania 2000 in a way. You know? And it's like, the gameplay, it just felt repetitive. You just mash buttons. There was like, just like, hit. Oh, gotta keep going. And the inputs weren't really the best in terms of, like, actually reading. Because it's like you hit the buttons and it's hard to even grapple on the opponent because it feels like there's a delay between the button and when the motion actually kicks in for the game. And it's just like, it's one of those games that doesn't really have much replay value unless you're some kind of sycophant that really wants to go through all these and try to unlock every single character. It's like you're better off trying to unlock all the goofy characters from the WCW Nitro game instead. Now, I'm looking even here through Wikipedia. They're also saying they got first blood matches. You got to make your opponent bleed, but can only play in one-player mode. Doesn't surprise me. You can do a Human Torch match, so you burn them, but you're stuck in the truck arena because that's where the barrels are that are on fire that you whip the opponent into. I mean, at least it's not a scaffold and getting thrown off or anything like that. Then you look at the reviews, like even with these companies and everything, they give really poor reviews unless you're Game Zone. Because like Metacritic, they gave like 48 out of 100 for the Nintendo 64 port, and PlayStation got 40 out of 100. And the PlayStation you would have thought would have been a bit better just because like it's easier to play FMVs on a CD-based like CD-based. I was gonna say system, but at least medium. That's what I'm thinking of. Like a media of like CDs compared to a cartridge. That's why, like, if you play like some of the Resident Evil games, you're gonna get like the full motion videos on PlayStation version compared to N64 because cartridges don't have the same like freedom and like expansion compared to discs. So you would think PlayStation would have done better for like reviews or anything for WCW Backstage Assault, but yeah, it looks like the Nintendo 64 port on certain websites and everything ranked that better than PlayStation. I mean, like, GameSpot gave 5.1 for both ports. GameZone gave this game 9 out of 10 for both versions, which is just like, somebody's got to be smoking that good stuff. Because it's just like crazy. IGN even gave 4 out of 10 for Nintendo 64 port and 2 out of 10 for PlayStation. It's just like, wow. And some of the quotes that they got here, I'm also going based on Wikipedia because they also have their sources in here. It says Daniel Erickson from Next Gen was negative to the PlayStation port. It also says, while generally positive to the game, Lamb Chop from GamePro also commented that fans of wrestler games would pick up the title in their collection, while others would avoid or pick them up as rental titles. Yeah, because unfortunately we were back in those days where people did not rely on YouTube videos and everything because they wasn't around at the time, but any kind of big video reviews from classic or any kind of users that we got in here saying, hey, should you buy this game? No, you're better off flushing it down the toilet. Like, I should not have been surprised. I found a boxed copy of the game for the Nintendo 64 and still also another sealed one for the PlayStation, which I did unboxings for here on YouTube because nobody wants this game. The only way you would want this game is if you get I think it's the gray cartridge port of it. That's supposed to be like very rare compared to the standard navy blue port or navy blue cartridge for the Nintendo 64. So it's like you either got the generic one or you got one that's actually worth money, which means it's the only time you're going to get your money back properly through this game or anything in terms of an investment. But, so yeah, this game did not deserve to see the light of day, because, like, EA and wrestling here did not make a good combination. Like, to have this terrible game out there at this time with how bad WCW was doing in terms of, like, finances and their reputation, the odds of the fans, it was not doing them any favors. Like, you would see it, they barely even promoted it. Maybe you would see, like, a banner, like, on the apron, or sometimes a lower third graphic pop up reminding them of the game. But let me ask you all something. Do any of you ever remember any commercials or even an official trailer announcing that this game was coming out? You could find video game trailers and like even commercials that air on TV for like other wrestling games, like WWF No Mercy or SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, stuff like that. You see commercials and trailers that have been archived, like preserved and everything for other wrestling games, whether they be ones that air between like for commercial breaks between TV programmings, or even eventually from like other companies that were reviewing these being like, oh, get ready for this game, it's coming out this date, here's the official trailer. Did any of this ever come out for WCW Backstage Assault? Because I can't find anything. Like, anytime you even look up trailer or commercial for WCW Backstage Assault here on YouTube, you're just gonna find people showing those the FMV videos from like the gameplay and everything. Not an official trailer where anybody like that was publishing the game was actively promoting this, because this game was purely horrible. Like, I say again, it would feel like it's an insult to try to say that this was a wrestling game because it doesn't feel like one. It's just guys beating the hell out of each other away from a wrestling ring that does not exist in here. Like, I would be surprised if somebody ever had the audacity to try to rematch this game from scratch. But yeah, let me know in the comments section below, folks. What did you all think about WCW Backstage Assault? If you've ever played it or even have any memories of it, let me know in the comments section below. Do I recommend the game? Not whatsoever. Don't even waste your time or money with it. Like, I was even surprised that I was even able to run it on the Nintendo Switch. But anyway, let me know what you all thought in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's episode of the podcast, folks, please remember, leave a like, subscribe with the bell turned on here on YouTube, comment what you thought below, and I'll catch you all next one. Thanks for listening, folks. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out and good day, everybody.